headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pod's Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm George Campbell, joined this hour by Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Ben is kicking us off in Idaho Falls. Ben, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Hey, so just a quick question I wanted to get an opinion on. My wife and I are looking at vehicles, and just wondering for a second opinion on how much to responsibly spend. Was also trying to get something reliable that's going to last a long time.
Cool. Do you guys have any debt?
We do not.
Awesome. And what's your income looking like?
About 60.
60K? And you said this would be your second vehicle, right?
Correct.
Okay. How much is the first vehicle that you have? What's it worth?
Probably about $3,500.
Oh, okay. So you guys are frugal.
Have you been saving already?
We have, but not specifically for this. I just need a vehicle for my job, specifically a truck, and just kind of wondering how much I can, plan on spending responsibly.
Well, do you have any? You don't have any savings saved up 3 to 6 months or anything like that?
We do. So we actually have about 50,000.
Oh, okay.
And that was originally just towards the house and just savings.
Okay, so you've got your 3 to 6 months bundled up with just kind of general miscellaneous savings. So what I would do is I would separate the 6 month mark. Like I would separate out what you need for 3 to 6 months of expenses. In your case, let's go for 6 months. And then what would you have? What is the extra on top out of that 50K that you could potentially spend on a vehicle?
Probably 10 to 20. It's depending on how much we wanted to continue to put into our Roth IRA.
Okay. Judging by the sound of your voice, it doesn't sound like you want to spend a whole lot. It sounds like you're kind of a frugal guy and you're just trying to get something to get by. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, I have a hard time justifying spending a lot on stuff like that goes down in value.
Yeah, that's cool.
My kind of guy.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
So the question becomes, what kind of truck could Ben get with $20,000 cash?
Something great.
And there begins your research.
Yeah, start researching, look and see what you find. Maybe kind of have a round number in your head already. Maybe you've thought, 8,000 is fine, 10,000 is fine. Start looking in that range, and if you like what you see, then go for it. But if you're feeling like, this is really not getting me where I want to be, up at a couple of thousand and start looking in that range. But you're really just, process of elimination here. Set a low bar and then just go from there and see if you find anything that fits. Because truth be told, and I'm just giving you permission to spend here, you could spend, if you said you have $20,000 beyond that 6 month point of savings, you could spend it. There's nothing saying that you can't spend that money on a vehicle. So there's your permission to spend, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You get to choose here, and that's the beauty of the baby steps. When you walk them through and you do it the right way, as you have, then you have the freedom of choice, which is great. There's no problem I don't see any problems here. This is all freedom of choice, so this is a good thing.
And the only parameter I would say that we recommend is to not have everything that has a motor in it, add it all up. Make sure that's not more than half of your annual income. And so for you guys, that would be $30K. So your car is worth, let's call it $4K. Well, you got some wiggle room there.
Yeah.
So we could spend, roughly $26,000 on this car, and it wouldn't be a large part of our world. We can part with that money without it affecting our financial future.
That's right.
So think about it that way. And so maybe your upper limit is 25, and that might mean you get the 2015 instead of the 2018. And so there's going to be some compromises, especially because trucks are just so freaking expensive. Have you looked into the truck that you actually would want?
Just different models that I think would be reliable, yes.
Okay. And that's another thing you can search is the reliability of the year you're looking at with that engine. And you can see all the recalls and all the issues it's had. And whatever you decide to go with, always get a pre-purchase inspection from the mechanic of your choice.
And one other thing you might want to consider here, I don't know what shape the other vehicle you have, the one that's, 3,500, but that might be something to consider. If that one's kind of on the fritz, or if you think that the time is coming to replace that one soon or upgrade that one soon, you might also want to continue to factor that into your choice as well.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So hopefully that helps you out, Ben.
Yeah, way to go. I mean, this is a good problem to have. It's usually people calling in that are broke who are like, well, I'm going to go spend $60,000 on a car, on a truck with payments on it.
Yeah, no, this guy's smart. Ben is smarter than that. I like that frugal
mentality. He doesn't
mentality.
Want to part with that hard-earned money.
Nothing
we
wrong
love
with
to
that.
see it. All right, let's go to Zahava in Brooklyn, New York.
Ooh, I
Zahava,
like that name.
welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Let's get straight to the question. We're up against the clock today.
Okay, so I've only been listening to you for a couple of weeks. My husband and I decided we're going to look into our budget, see how we're doing. We are not in debt. Things come full circle, but it seems like our expenses are kind of everywhere. Some things come out of the bank account, like the mortgage. Some things come off the credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Some things we end up paying tuition. The cleaning lady gets cash and the daycare lady gets a check. And we pay gift cards for the, day camp. And how do we consolidate to really see how much we're making, where every dollar is going? Also, in terms of what we're making, sometimes I'm on a W-2, sometimes I'm on a 1099, and my husband works in Jersey, but lives in New York. How do we get everything together?
Yeah, I would suggest getting on everydollar.com. It's the budgeting software that we created here at Ramsey Solutions, and it's amazing. I've been using it since 2017, and in there, not only can you track all of your expenses, not in real time, but pretty close to real time. What it does is it automatically connects to your bank. And so all the transactions that you make with every dollar premium will go directly into your every dollar budget. And you can literally track them. So anytime you go to Publix or the grocery store, you track it under your grocery budget. Anytime you pay for daycare or whatever, you track it under the daycare. And you can really start to see how you're spending. And it's great because it'll break out those expenditures into percentages. So you can see, man, I'm putting 15% of my income towards XYZ, or you can really see how you're spending. And for you, since you sometimes have the irregular income, they have a really great feature on there that's called paycheck planning. And so it literally allows you to bring balances over from the previous month. So if you and your husband did really well that month and you didn't spend all the money, you can bring that balance over. And then if you have a coming up month, you can see how that's going to track with you. So you can plan when you're going to spend your money, what date you're going to spend it on, and it will tell you, hey, you're close to going in the red, or your spending looks good. It'll tell you green or red. So every dollar budget, that's what you need to get onto, Zahava.
And that's part of our every dollar premium. So we're going to gift that to you, Zahava, for 1 year and start tracking it. It may take a few months to dial all the expenses in, but those checks, they're coming out of your bank. And so everything at some point has to come out of your bank, and that will help you gain control of this. We're rooting for you.
Love it.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ramsey personality George Camel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. The number to call is 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. Tanisha joins us up next in Washington, D.C. Tanisha, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
We're doing great. How can we help?
I was calling to ask about whether I should change jobs or not.
What's making you think that you maybe should change?
Well, I've been doing Ramsey-ish for about a year and a half, and I paid about almost $20,000 in like credit card debt.
Okay.
And now I want to tackle my my student loan. So I have 2 jobs.
Okay.
But it's not sustainable. So I'm like, but I was able to pay the debt off. So I'm like, should I switch jobs? Should I keep it?
What are you earning between the 2 jobs? And how does it break down?
So with one job, I'm making a little under 49, and the other job I make about like 17, a little over 17.50 an hour. So I don't know how much it is yearly. I don't remember.
So the first one is $49,000 a year. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one is $17.50 an hour. How many hours a week are you working it?
So my main job, the one where I make 49, is 40 hours, but the other one, it varies between 20 to 40 hours every 2 weeks.
20 to 40 every 2 weeks. And are you in control of the 20 to 40, or is that like, hey, we're just giving you what we have? Do you have the ability to? Oh, okay.
I'm in control of it.
Okay. Do you like both jobs?
I don't like my main job. I like the flexibility of it.
What are you doing for work for your main job? What kind of work is it?
I'm a research assistant in cardiology, and I don't do patient facing. I'm just like, I'm at home 4 days a week, and I go in 1 day a week, and it's just imaging research.
What do you want to be doing in an ideal world? Let's say you could make as much as you're making or more. Is there something where you're like, man, I want to be working with people instead of behind the scenes. I want to be doing this over here.
I want to be working with people, but I don't know how. Like, I really don't know.
Well, you seem like a people person. Are you not?
I am a people person, yes.
So don't tell me you don't know how. You're good with people. You don't know what the next step is to take to jump into that career. And we can help with that part. And our friend Ken Coleman has some great resources that we'll hook you up with today. One is the Get Clear Career Assessment. And this will take you about 20 minutes. You'll fill this out. It'll give you a report that will not only give you some career options, but it'll actually show you how you're wired as a person, which goes way deeper and will really be helpful. I'm also going to give you his book, From Paycheck to Purpose.
Yes.
Because right now you're just doing this for the paycheck, trying to get out of debt. But what happens once you're out of debt and you still don't like your job?
And and that's the thing. Sometimes, you do work a job that you don't love, or you work 2 jobs in this case just to get to an end point. But we don't want that to be where you stay long term. How much student loan debt do you have?
$68,000.
And is that the extent after that's done? Is that all the debt, or do you have more beyond?
That's it. After that, that's it.
Do you have any money in the bank right now?
I have $1,000 saved.
Cool.
So if I'm you, what I would start doing, you're on the right step. You got your $1,000 saved. We're going into baby step 2. You've already done a great job getting rid of that $20K of credit card debt. In the meantime, I would be working as much as I can, because thing 1 is getting this debt paid off. And while you're doing 3 things simultaneously. You're working the 40 hours or however many part-time hours at this $17.50 an hour job as you can. While you're doing that, you're reading Paycheck to Purpose. While you're doing that, you're doing the Get Clear assessment. And hopefully, in the next 2 years or so, we're out of this debt and we are on track to a new career, something that you love, something that you know that you're doing work that matters, and you're going in every day going, I get to work with people. I love this. Does that sound good to you, Tanisha?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, there may be a way for you to go, hey, I'm making 49 now, I'm making 17.50 on the side. What if I could get a job that pays me 65, that I could do 40 hours a week, and then I could still do a side job, and I could really speed up this debt snowball process, getting rid of this debt.
Now, I like that.
That's what I want to do.
That gets me more excited for you, and that's exactly what I would be doing. I would be applying other places, other research-related roles that I could step into now that I have some experience where I could get paid more.
I like that, because there's definitely side hustles that you can get that you're making more than $17.50 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Look at your skills. Are you able to do any overtime with your current role?
My main job?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So if we're capped out there, let's start updating the resume, looking at other jobs that could pay 60, 70 to replace that side income, and then we can still use the side income to get rid of the debt faster.
Let me ask you this. Is there any other place that we can pull from to help you get out of this debt? What's your car situation?
Oh, I live in the city, so I take Metro.
Okay, so we're not looking at that.
Until I don't think it's wise for me to get a car right now.
Mm-hmm. And what about, so you said you live in the city, so I'm assuming that you've got high rent? Or is there anywhere there that we can?
Parents. I live with my parents.
Then
great.
you're
so
doing everything you can do.
Very little expenses.
Yeah, I just paid $300 in rent.
Okay. Look, Tanisha.
That's incredible.
Keep going at it. Keep doing what you're doing. I like George's idea of finding side hustles that pay more so that you can go further with your time, make more money, spend less time. I like that idea. Keep hacking away at this debt. The average person is out of that debt snowball within 24 to 36 months, and you're right on course for that. So keep going.
Hang on the line. We'll get you that Get Clear career assessment as well as the book From Paycheck to Purpose. All right, let's go to Jacob in Peoria, Illinois. Jacob, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Quick question on a truck loan I have.
All right.
I've always been someone I didn't.
Hey, speak directly into your phone for us, Jacob. You're breaking up on us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
Yes. So you got the truck loan?
Yeah, I had a truck loan for about $12,000. Paid for half the truck. Took a loan on the other half. I've never been a debt guy, and I just hate it. I don't have the cash to pay it off right now. But I do have a brokerage account that has around $60,000 in it, and just single stocks that I've just accumulated over the years. And so I don't know if I should sell off some of those. All that's kind of down right now, so that's hard for me. But I just wanted to kind of get some of your input on that.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the volatility of single stocks, as you now know, I would cash out at least in the amount of this truck loan. And if you want to hang on for a few months beyond that and see what the rest does, if you can climb back up. But long term, I'm cashing out of this thing and I'm putting it into a less volatile investment. I'm putting it towards my future. Do you have a fully funded emergency fund?
Yes. Yep. I do. Yeah, I have a yes.
So
I do.
How much do you have in savings right now?
About 7,000. So not much more than just the 6 months of expenses.
So if you cashed out, let's say 6,000 of those stocks and 6,000 from your savings, that would get you free and clear out of this truck loan. And then let's say you cashed out another 15 or 20 from the stocks and you built that fully funded emergency fund tomorrow.
I love that.
I feel like you'd be sleeping better at night, having no payments and having a pile of liquid cash in the bank.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a really good idea.
Now, you just be aware you may have taxes on those gains, and so I would be working with a tax pro.
If I need to think through that as well.
What's your income?
My wife and I together, we bring home about $110,000 a year.
Great income.
Those stocks is that your only investment, or are you guys also into 401ks or IRAs?
Yeah, I have a 401k through work. I'm actually investing at 15% plus a match on that. So that I'm pretty good in that area, I feel like. And my wife also, she's still in school. She works part-time.
Yeah, I mean, with these single stocks, we usually say that with stocks, we don't want it to be more than like 5% of your whole investment picture. So if there's a way, I liked George's idea of basically going back and kind of working those steps in order, making sure you're out of debt first, and then, you know, pulling from those stocks to refund your 3 to 6 months. And, you know, by then you'll probably put those stocks back to where they need to be, which is around 5% of your net worth.
And you won't miss it, my friend. You're going to love debt freedom, having liquid cash in the bank, and investing long-term for your future in those tax-advantaged retirement accounts. And we can get to the brokerage stuff later and have some fun, but right now, let's build this financial foundation for Jacob and his family. I love it, man. Thanks for the call. More of that coming up. 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show.
I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use NetSuite. by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Campbell, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Well, if you're listening to this show, you know that we've all done stupid with money around here, Jade and I included. And sometimes it's fun to laugh about it. And the important thing is we don't make that mistake again. We grow, we move on.
That's right.
But there's this Yahoo article, Jade, that I thought was kind of hilarious, kind of sad. 17 things people spent big money on that they're kicking themselves over looking back. So I wanted to cover a few and get your takes.
Yes.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. This one was an interesting one. Someone said a timeshare.
Oh, well,
What's
we
going
already
on
know
here?
about that. Okay, so this guy said, I went to the seminar for a 3-night stay at a beach resort, and they got me. They were phenomenal salesmen, but they lie out of their beeps. We spent thousands over years, only use the timeshare once. We hear that all the time, George. They only use the... Look, they almost got me one time in Las Vegas.
Dang.
I didn't know that's what it was, and I ended up on this bus getting ready to go to wherever the timeshare thing was. Yeah, and then when I tried to get off the bus, they would not let me off the bus, George. So I know how this guy feels.
I'm not getting in Jade's way. That's a bold move.
I had to get medieval on him.
So yeah, this person goes on to say they paid a lawyer to get them out of the contract. Now they're free. These things are scams. And if you don't believe me, how terrible of an investment they are, which, by the way, you don't own anything, so not really invested in anything. Mm-hmm. You can find them on eBay for $1.
Wow.
People are desperately trying to get rid of them.
Well, he's fortunate that he was able to get out of his, because it ain't easy, let me tell you.
All right, here's another one. Someone said, I bought a mobile home as a starter home. No one ever explained to me as a young adult the importance of investment and future planning. Mobile homes, of course, do not hold nor increase in value, so you never build equity. It's akin to renting, except you have to cover all of your own repair costs, too. It's a terrible financial decision. Do not buy mobile homes, kids. Just don't do it. Good advice there.
Yeah, it's going down in value. Woo. Let's see. I see this one down here. This is about credit cards. George, you are my favorite topic. He says, I opened a credit card in college, bought something, I don't even remember what it was, and completely forgot about it. I never got a statement, and 3 years later, I suddenly have collections agencies calling me nonstop over a $20 debt with hundreds of collection fees. It took me years to get my credit back to not crappy levels.
Wow.
Been there.
And we did it all for the free t-shirt back in college.
Been there, done that.
On the college. How is it even legal to let these people on the college campus?
I don't know, dude. We've all done it.
Now, here's one I have never done. This is an interesting one. Someone said, I agreed to take over my ex-girlfriend's bills so that she could pay off her debts.
Oh, Lord.
5 years and over $100,000 of my money later, she was in more debt than when we started and cheating on me. Don't ever do this. Just make her be an adult or dump her. It's never worth it. This needs to go on Maury or something.
Yeah. They need to be on
gracious,
Maury.
that is some drama.
Oh, that's terrible.
And ex-girlfriends, I can't think of one ex-girlfriend that I want to give $1, let alone cover all of her bills.
You know what? People will do anything. Love is blind.
I think when he was paying the bills, they were dating.
They were. I think you're right. I think they were dating, and then it came back to bite him in the butt.
Because she's cheating on him after he's given her 6 figures.
Yes, wine and dine your ladies, but do not pay their debts. Don't do it. Don't co-sign. Please.
Yikes. That was enabling right there. She took advantage of that homie.
Yeah, I don't dig that. Let me read this one. This one, she says, financing a car and then leasing a new one. So she financed the used car, leased a new one. Never again. I bought my current car in a new light condition and paid it in full with cash. I love
Let's
never
go.
having to deal with, I am with it. I love never having to deal with car payments. That's great.
Once you get fleeced, you ain't never going back.
Can I tell y'all a secret? Do you know that when I was dating Sam, this goes along with this dumb stuff. He bought my used car. We were engaged, but I had a car and he thought that I should have a better car. And he bought me a Jeep Liberty. Wow. And luckily, once we got married, we helped snowball it together. These are bad choices, people.
What a romantic Sam is.
I'm saying this to say, this is the dumb stuff we do.
Nothing says love like a financial transaction.
Like co-signing. Yeah, right.
This one got me. Someone said, lending my credit card to family.
Ooh.
How few brain cells do you need to have to trust your family with a credit card? It's like giving a kid just Monopoly money to go spend.
George, I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, we got to share our stupid ones.
All right, what's yours?
Okay. Can I tell you guys, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done because it was just extra dumb. I went to college, George. I had a full presidential scholarship, which means everything paid for, and I had a full volleyball athletic scholarship.
Wow.
My bills were paid for college. And do you know that the financial aid folks talked me into taking out student loans so that I could pay for just life? They said, Jade, you're going to need new clothes. You're going to want, after the games, you're going to want to go out to eat with your friends. And I took out student loans.
Are these people getting a kickback for this? This is insane.
$34,000. George, that's what I did.
Lived it up in college.
I don't remember it. I remember going to Walmart, spending $60 on groceries just like everybody else. I don't know what happened to the money.
That's nuts.
Beat that.
Well, I once shipped a pair of Air Force Ones on Craigslist to a guy in Nigeria because he said it was for his cousin.
No!
And this was not like a Nigerian prince thing. I listed my Air Force Ones for sale, a nice pair of shoes, and I got an email from a guy. It seemed legit. He was like, hey, I want to get this as a gift to my cousin. He lives in Nigeria. I'll pay you extra for shipping. I'll give you an extra $50. And I was like, sweet. And he was like, hey, I'll PayPal you right now. I got the email from PayPal.
What?
That showed the transaction. I went, great, I'm going to go ship these today. I went back a day later. The email from PayPal was not an email from PayPal. It was a forgery. And I clicked through the email address and saw that it was all a lie. The money never actually hit my PayPal account, and these shoes were gone in Nigeria.
So this is like a Nigerian homeboy.
Yes.
This is like a Nigerian cousin.
And I fell for it. Now, here's the crazy part. The shoes showed up 6 months later back at my door, and it said return to sender.
What?
So whoever was running this scam, it must have been a bad address, or I don't know.
I don't know. George, that's hilarious.
Couldn't
That's a
tell
crazy
you what happened
story.
to those Air Force Ones.
I love it.
Here's a crazy one, though, that we didn't hit. Someone said, not mine, but my dad's. He bought $500 worth of collectible Star Trek dinner plates in the 80s, thinking they'd be worth a ton of money in a few years. They're not.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like someone
that's like
out
Beanie
there...
Babies.
Someone out there who's a big Star Trek fan with some money, they might be willing to buy that.
I might
Wouldn't
know
put it
some
past them.
people. I might know some people who's willing to buy it. Not me.
Wow. Well, here's the deal. We've all done stupid with money, and we want to hear your stories from our listeners. And so if you have a stupid tax story where you made a financial mistake, you had some regrets, and you're okay with us laughing about it, please email us at ask@RamseySolutions.com, and in the subject line, put stupid tax. Ask@RamseySolutions.com, subject line, stupid tax. We love to hear it, because I think, you know what it does? It creates some levity around money.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it more comfortable to admit our own mistakes. And everyone thinks they've done the stupidest thing with money, and then you read another story and you go, nope.
Yeah. George, everybody has done something stupid with money. It's the people who refuse to admit it that's still broke.
Ooh.
It's the people who refuse to, because if you can't admit it, that means you haven't learned from it.
And if you refuse to change.
That even better.
You do stupid over and over again, that's a choice.
Yeah. You got to start learning from these mistakes.
Ouch.
Whew.
So here's the good news. I stopped doing stupid when I saw through this broken system that was meant to keep me broke. I went through Financial Peace University. You did this as well. This was like 10 years ago now. And I became so much more aware of my money, how other people were trying to get my money, what I could be doing with my money. And it gave me such peace and confidence because I realized, I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. I just have to do a budget and stay out of debt.
That's so true. It's the simple things, George. It's, I think money culture tries to make us think it's so complex and it's only for the wealthy and it's only for certain people. Yeah. Then there's the dude bros. But it's those simple things, living on less than you make, getting on a budget. Can you believe it? Paying off your debt.
Who knew?
Easy can be hard, but it's simple.
You don't have to be smart to do smart stuff with money. And that's very encouraging for people like me.
And me.
Wow. That's good stuff. Well, hey, more of your calls, maybe more of your stupid texts coming up right here on The Ramsey Show. 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. If you've been wondering, can I build wealth even in this economy, we've got some answers for you. There is a ton of noise out there right now with inflation and massive layoffs and rising interest rates. And we understand that you're fearful and you want some hope. And that's why we're coming to a city near you with our Building Wealth live event. Dave Ramsey and our team of Ramsey personalities will be doing this Building Wealth Live Spring Tour where we dig into all of the hot topics that you're wondering about. We give you a proven plan to build wealth and keep it even in this economy. That is the guarantee right there. And each one is going to have its own flair and unique lineup. So in Indianapolis on February 16th, it'll be Dave, myself, Rachel Cruz, and Jade. On February the 23rd, we'll be in Austin, Texas. It'll be Dave, Ken, Dr. John Deloney, and Jade. Then we'll be in Salt Lake City on April 24th, where you can see Dave, Rachel, myself, and Christina Ellis. And for our last stop, we've got Anaheim on May 2nd with Dave, Ken, Dr. John, and Christina. So we're switching it up. And so I'll miss you all in Austin and Anaheim, but we'd love to see you. If you're near one of those cities, you can get there. It is going to be a good time. Tickets start at just $49, or you can get a 4-pack starting at $175. So bring some friends, borrow some if you have to. It's going to be a good time. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events to reserve your seats today. Now,
exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm just elated about this tour.
Good work.
It's been so fun. The crowds have been electric.
Yeah.
And it gives me hope too, because if you just watch the headlines, you're like, oh gosh, this is all going south real quick.
Yeah.
And then you meet these people and they're like, oh yeah, we became baby steps millionaires this year. We paid off all our debt this year.
Yes.
We finally saved for that big down payment goal we had. You're like, it's going to be
possible.
okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Surround yourself with hope.
That's
the
right.
Hope dealers.
Check your inputs.
Not the joy stealers.
Check your inputs. Are they the right ones you need to have in your life?
That's good, George.
Let's go to the phone. Scott is up next in Corpus Christi, Texas. Scott, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Thank you.
What's going on?
Well, I called just to see if I get some advice, if I'm making the correct decision on constructing our new home in today's economy.
Uh-huh.
What's got you worried?
Just investing. Right now, the home is for $566,000 with a 6% interest rate on a 15-year fix, which would put my principal and interest at $4,700 a month. But my goal is to pay the house off at a 5-year point. And to do that, I will need to take, pretty much what I've been putting into savings to do, to pay that off in 5 years.
What's your income?
My income is $240,000 a year.
I'm guessing you don't have any debt, Scott?
I have zero debt, zero consumer debt.
Have you been contributing? I'm guessing you have a decent savings, 3 to 6 months.
We have $104,000 in savings.
And I'm guessing you've been contributing 15% to retirement, maybe even more.
That's my question, because I have not been putting anything into retirement or investments.
Okay.
I'm a individual contractor. So I've been taking really what I would invest and paying college tuition for my kids. So that's where that money has gone. So I have, right now, zero retirement.
Okay. So I love that you want to pay off this home loan so early. However, when working the baby steps, we suggest you do baby steps 4, 5, and 6 simultaneously, but also in order. So you kind of skipped ahead and you went to baby step 5 and we're funding the kids' college. And now you're trying to skip ahead again and get to 6 and start paying off your home early. But it's, you got to get to the retirement, because here's the thing, you're going to retire regardless. The kids may or may not go to college. You got to make sure you've got that money sitting aside for retirement. Now, you mentioned you've got your own business or you're an independent contractor. I want you to get with a SmartVestor Pro, because they're probably going to want to get you into a solo 401k or some sort of SEP situation set up so that you can start putting aside money for retirement. And in your case, I would start with the 15%. And then if you have money above that, then you can start paying off the mortgage early. So it sounds like at the rate that you were hoping to pay off this home, and because of your income here, you have enough money to do all 3 of those things, to invest the 15%. If you decide to go with the SEP, the contribution is going to come from the employer side, and you'd be able to contribute up to 25% of whatever you take in salary. Or if you decide to go the solo 401k route, you can contribute either as the employer or the employee, which is nice. But like I said, get set up with a SmartVestor Pro. You can go on our site at Ramsey Solutions and find that. But that's thing 1. And then after that, you're going to find that you probably do have extra money in your budget to start chugging away and paying off that home mortgage early. What do you think, George?
Well, Scott, are you saying the loan is going to be $566, or is that the home price?
No, the price to construct the house. I don't have the mortgage yet, because we're going to build. My land is paid off, so the build price that I would finance is $566.
Okay, so I'm wondering, can we slow down just a touch, save up more to put down so that we can get that mortgage, that loan lower? Because right now, $4,700 a month, is your take-home pay close to $15,000?
My take-home pay is right at $20,000.
It is at $20,000. Okay, so that $240,000 is your take-home.
Correct.
Great. Well, that will leave you with a whole bunch of margin to still pay those off early. And as long as you're able to cash flow, college, and you're putting that 15% away, anything beyond that will help you get there. And the kids, they're going to be through college in the next 4 years, it sounds like.
I have one that's not in college yet.
So it's staggered.
One right now that's got 2 years left.
Okay. Well, I would get this plate spinning, because we want you to start getting the power of compound interest working in your favor in those retirement accounts. And while getting that house paid for is an awesome goal, you're going to get there. And if you do it in 6 years instead of 5,
right,
big whoop. You are so far ahead of most Americans. Are you already a millionaire net worth?
No.
Okay. So that would be my goal for you before retirement. Let's make sure we've got a nest egg plugging away, growing for us, and we have money in the bank. We have got a paid-for house, which is going to lower all of your expenses in retirement, and that will put you on the path to retire with dignity. How old are you?
I am 53.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. You're going to do just fine. The average person who has a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, they're paying that off just in a little over 10 to 11 years. So no matter what, you're going to pay this thing off early, and you're going to go into retirement without a home payment, which is ultimately the goal.
Oh, yeah. And you've got a fabulous income, Scott, and so that gives me great peace. Now, if you were making $100,000 and you had a $5,000 mortgage payment, I would be in tears for you. That would be frightening. But as long as you think that income will stay at 240 or above, and you can sustain that for the next, 5 to 10 years as you get this stuff paid off and start working on retirement, and then start just plugging as much money away as you can so that you're not having to work at 65.
That's right.
Which is most people. So
you're in good shape.
Way to go. that gave me a great joy to take that call from Scott.
I love that. Again, it's the choices. He was a little out of whack with the baby steps, and that's okay. His income is great. He's thought this through. It was just kind of,
and he's crunching the numbers. Most people go into it and go, well, I'm going to do a 30-year with as little down as possible,
right, and
I'll just pay it off over 30 years. And I'm going, dude, why do you want to hang on to debt for 3 more decades?
That's one of those conversations, George. That's the big ticket thing is, I want to have the 30-year mortgage and then I have more spending power and I can leverage my spending power. That ain't it, cuz. Think about it. At the end of the day, there's still 63% of people living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
The people who say that they're going to take that extra savings and invest it, they don't do it.
Nope. Don't tell me you will, because I know human behavior.
The stats tell us, George.
I'm going to go for the Oreos before the kale. It's just how we are as humans.
It's how we are.
And so I'd rather force that decision and go, I got a 15-year now. Let's pay it off like a 5.
That's right.
Scott's doing it. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to Jade Warshaw, all the folks in the booth, and you, America. We'll be back real soon. Hey, it's George Camel. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pod's Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm George Camel, hosting with my good friend Jade Warshaw this hour, and we want to hear from you. Give us a call with your questions at 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Andrew kicks us off in San Jose. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's going on?
So I'm having a really hard time getting behind the idea of dropping my savings down to $1,000 and trying to pay off some debt I have.
Okay. How much debt do you have?
So my biggest, I have 2 car payments. One of them's about $24,000. The other one's about $72,000.
Whoa! I hope your income is just baffling.
Blow us away.
What is it?
My income is, I think I made around $210,000 last year.
Okay. I feel better.
I do feel better. Okay.
So you got 2 car loans. What else?
That's it.
So
house payment, obviously. But
do you need need both cars, or is there another person in the picture here?
My wife. My wife has one. I have the other.
Okay. And are you guys combining finances? So is that all of the debt between the two of you?
That's all. She stays at home. I work.
So tell us more about this issue with the emergency fund, the $1,000 saved.
So my guess is you have a bunch of money in liquid cash right now. How much do you have?
I have about $42,000.
Okay. And you want to get on the Ramsey plan?
I do. My biggest issue with it is that going under $1,000 to me is just scary, especially when you have random bills and expenses. Good example for me is I had a dishwasher go out in December, and then I had a fence fall over in the last couple of days. So just to me, going down to that low is just, I don't know if I can personally do that or not.
Well, here's the thing. It's temporary. It's not for the long haul. This is a very temporary action so that it lights your butt on fire, so that you get this debt paid off super fast. And in your situation, you've got a great income. You've got money saved. There's no reason that you can't get out of debt very quickly to where that $1,000 emergency fund is a distant memory, and pretty soon you're going to be up to having 3 to 6 months of savings. So it's not intended to be a long-term fix. And the reason we say that is because many people can make the argument, George, that, $1,000, it's not enough. What happens if this happens, or what happens if that happens? But the fact is 36% of Americans have no money saved. And those who have a little bit of money saved, they don't have $1,000. 56% of Americans could not pay for $1,000 emergency. So Andrew, that's why we have it set up that way. It's multi-purpose. So in this case, you knowing that you've got a family, you knowing these things, you're going to work even faster and be more intent about getting out of debt. And here's the thing. It's $1,000 emergency fund, but if something were to happen, you still have your normal monthly cash flow, right? It's not to say that you wouldn't be able to add more money to that in order to make a repair or make something happen. I can tell you from firsthand experience, it took us 7.5 years to get out of debt. We had $460,000 of debt, Andrew. We had $1,000 emergency fund. And do you want to know what happened? We'd use it, and then we'd have to replace it. Then we use it again and have to replace it. That's what it's there for. And if it was something that costed a little bit more, then what we'd have to do is we'd have to sell something or find a way to get that money. And we always could. And I think that you'll be surprised at how well that $1,000 serves you.
And even for my area, which is generally a bit more than most, it's $1,000 is still sufficient that you find.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it was never meant to be sufficient because truthfully, we go, well, it should be 15. It should be 3,000. It should be 6,000.
Yeah, you could say.
I mean, a new roof is more than 5,000, so let's make it 10,000.
Right.
And so part of it is to get people started on the plan. Obviously, you have an incredible income, and so let's just do some napkin math here. You said you've got 42 in savings, so if you took that down to 1. That means you can throw $41,000 at that $96,000 of debt.
Which means the first car's paid off.
And now you free up a payment, and you're left with $55,000 left, right? Now you make $210,000. You could throw probably $10,000 a month at this debt, right?
Give or take. The one thing I would say is I get paid biweekly, so technically speaking, I'm missing a portion of that because I get 2 extra payments, one in different months.
Sure.
So it's slightly different is how that works out.
But roughly each month you could probably throw about $10K. And so this debt is, if you do the Ramsey plan, in 5 months you're completely debt free.
Yeah.
And then those next few paychecks restock that emergency fund back up to $30,000, $40,000. And so we're talking a period of 6 to 8 months to do all of this.
That's right.
If you get gazelle intense. Now the other side
My
is
fear would be is it might be a little bit longer than that because we do have a mortgage payment to also take into account into it.
Okay. And is it a reasonable
$3K.
mortgage for your take-home pay?
It's $3,000 a month is my current mortgage, which everyone tells me is good.
Yeah, I mean your take-home pay is what, about 12 or more, 15?
Yeah, it varies from it's about 12 to 15, give or take.
California taxes, they'll get you.
Then you're fine. You're fine as far as the percentage of your mortgage. But I mean, think about what George was saying. If you take that savings, you knock out that first car payment, $24K. How much is the car payment on the car that's worth $24,000?
The car payment's $500 a month.
You're freeing up $500 a month right there, just right there. If you had an emergency, suddenly you have $1,500. Not just $1,000. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like understanding that the $1,000 is there, but you still have your income. You still have the money that you're budgeting every month. And there's always something that you can cut down, slim back whenever, if Murphy does come into your house.
Income, I did a new budget this year. I definitely have wiggle room in my budget to pay more for things. So that's fine.
Yeah. No, I think that the baby steps works for everybody. Everybody, it's fine to have questions about it, and we're happy to answer those questions. But I want you to go into this, Andrew, knowing that this is the proven method. This is the smartest way to do it. And in your case, like George said, you're going to be out of this in 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go do it.
Like Jay said, if something happens, you get another fence that falls down, well, we're just going to pause the baby steps and go, all right, the next paycheck goes towards replacing the fence.
That's right.
And you don't lose any sleep over it. And so that's the truth about the $1,000 is it's not as big of an issue as people make it out to be because you have future cash flow coming in.
That's right.
And it's okay if you pause.
And something else I like about the $1,000 saved, George, is it forces you to calm down, to pause and think about your actions. Because a lot of times something unexpected happens and we think, we got to do it now, and you start spending this money, you put on a credit card, you pull your savings. But you want to know what? If your washer and dryer breaks, do you know what? You'll be okay. You'll be okay for a while.
You'll be okay.
You don't have to go to Home Depot that night and replace it. You don't even have to go that week. You want to know what I did? I drove over to my mother-in-law's house. I did my laundry over there until we had the money.
That's what's
It
up.
makes you wait. It makes you think. Think.
We have the illusion of safety when we have a pile of money in the bank, but yet we owe a lender $96,000 with interest.
It's a facade.
I feel a whole lot safer getting rid of that and being back in control of my greatest wealth building tool, my income.
I love it.
We're rooting for you, Andrew. Thanks for the call, man.
Good call.
This is the Ramsey Show.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 45% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com now to learn more.
This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. Our question of the day comes from Jake in Maryland. Here's what Jake has to say. I've been dating my girlfriend for 3 years, and she's in her first year of med school. She'll have over $300,000 of student loan debt by the time she graduates. I'm planning to propose to her after I graduate and get a good-paying job a year from now. I'm 24, and I'll graduate debt-free with a finance degree later this year. I've got $20,000 in savings, and I'm wondering if I should use that and the income I'll have from my future job to help pay for her med school, since her debt will be mine once we get married. I don't like debt, and $300,000 just feels overwhelming to me. I don't know if it's a good plan to pursue, and my parents don't think I should do it since we're not married yet. I was initially planning to use my savings to put a down payment on a house once I graduate and get a job. I would like to get a second opinion on this.
Ooh-wee.
We'll give you that. We might give you a third one.
Yeah, we'll give you some opinions, Jake. Here's the deal. And this is for everybody, until you're married, we don't suggest combining finances. We don't suggest paying for your girlfriend's this, paying for your boyfriend's that. Even if you're fiance status, we don't suggest going to that level, because here's the thing, you don't know if it's going to work out. And if it doesn't work out and you've dropped, the $20K that you've painstakingly saved, for a home down payment, man, you're up a creek and you're feeling terrible at that point. Now, let's talk about this $300K in student loan debt. Let's just pretend, George, that everything goes right. That in a year from now, he's able to graduate. He pops the question. She says yes, and they get married. Let's say that happens a year from now. Then, and only then, he could start talking. They could start talking about, okay, how are we going to pay this debt off together? But until then, it's simply just a conversation. They can start plotting out. They can make sure they're on the same page moving forward. And that's probably where you need to start, Jake, is having some conversations with her, because you're not okay with debt, but she was okay with taking out $300,000 of debt. And you guys need to have a conversation about that, because if she's okay with debt and you're not, then you guys are going to run into some friction ahead. Now, I would advise this. If she hasn't already taken out the student loans, because you said she's got a couple of years until she graduates, let's try to convince her to pay cash and pay as she goes, slow down a little bit, see if she can find some programs that'll help supplement her education so that she's not having to go into this student loan debt. There is always a way to pay for school. And we have a Ramsey personality here, Christina Ellis. She specializes in that, George. She was able to earn over $500,000 in scholarships and went to amazing schools. Vanderbilt, man.
She's way smarter than me.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, there is a way to do this. I think you need to have that conversation, but I repeat, I do not want you spending your money on her education, especially now in this boyfriend-girlfriend zone. Definitely not in the fiancé zone. Not until you get married. What do you think, George?
Well, the end of the question was, I want to use my savings for a down payment on a house once I graduate and get a job. And the truth is, if you plan on marrying her, this could delay that dream.
Good point.
And that stinks, and that's one thing that debt does to your life. It delays your dreams. And if you don't believe me, go watch Borrowed Future and hear the numerous stories about how student loans have held people back from becoming homeowners.
Hope deferred
from
makes
getting
the heart
married,
sick.
from having kids. And it's heartbreaking. And so I would suggest you two sit down and watch that together, and you can help her develop a plan to try to graduate debt-free. But don't put a dime towards it, and I would pause on this home purchase until we know more. Are we going to get married? Because Lord knows she's going to want to move somewhere else, and you didn't pick the right place, and the wall color's not the right one. And so I would just put pause on this, keep saving up that down payment, have the emergency fund in place, you keep living your life debt-free, and have those values conversations around money.
That's right.
Thanks for the question. Good stuff. All right, let's go to the phones. Mason is waiting for us in Indianapolis. Mason, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello?
Hey.
What's going on?
Well, I'm looking at buying a truck.
All right.
And I'm also looking at buying a house. But it will be a flipping house, so I want to make some money off of it. I'm wondering, though, if I should buy this $12,000 truck, which is it's towards the top of my budget, or if I should buy a less nice truck for like $7,000 or something like that.
What's your income?
My income, I'm paid by the hour. I'm getting $17 an hour, and I'm usually getting $2,200, $2,500 in that range every month.
Okay, so between $2,200 and $2,200. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Where'd you hear about all this house flipping stuff?
Well, I work construction with my grandpa. It's really just me and him doing our own kind of business, and I guess it was from him. I would say. Well,
I'm in the boat of focusing on our primary residence for you first and getting that paid off, and later on down the road we can become, real estate investors. But at your age, I would focus on, what does my future look like? How do I get my income up? Are you debt free?
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you have saved?
$27,000.
Oh, awesome. And part of that's your emergency fund?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. I don't know how much.
We'll figure it out right now. Take a month of your expenses and multiply it out. Let's call it by 4 months. What does that add up to?
Okay.
Probably 10, 12 grand?
That's a big emergency fund. I was thinking 5,000.
Whoa. Well, do you not have any expenses? Okay. Are you renting right now? What are you doing?
No. Well, I live with my parents.
Okay.
And so that's one expense taken care of. I do have a phone bill, so that's $50, and then I don't pay insurance. I'm with that on my dad, and I don't have truck payments or car payments or insurance, but I am going to pick that up once I buy this truck. Okay. I'm going to have insurance payments.
So based on my estimate, if you're working full time, you're probably making right now about $27,000 to $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't spend more than that $12,000 for a truck. You've got the money. I want you to do this in cash. Don't go near a car loan. They're going to try to sell you on one when you walk into that dealership or wherever you go to buy it. Don't fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would start looking for a $12,000 truck if that's what you need. If you don't need a $12,000 truck, get something cheaper. I'd rather you have more money for your future goals, like a down payment.
Okay.
So, and I would focus on a primary residence for you first. You're only 19, man. You're so far ahead of the game already.
That's right.
So imagine what happens if we can double your income. What kind of work are you doing right now?
Construction. Right now we're working, remodeling a funeral home.
Cool. And you're working with your grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
Is it his business?
Yeah.
And he kind of just owns the job? It's not like a company. Are you going to take this over one day, or are you just wanting to do your own thing in construction?
I could. It doesn't really matter if I take his company or not. We're not that big. It's kind of a word-of-mouth business.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, but I would rather make my money through real estate.
Yeah, I like what George is saying. I think that we do this right and we do it in the right order. And it seems like for you, the truck is right on track. It's right in line with what you're earning, so it's not overboard. But after that, you're living at home, your expenses are low. Save up to buy whatever you're doing with either a very large down payment, or in your situation, you're a young guy, you might be able to save up, and eventually buy something outright in cash.
Yeah. I mean, I was 32 before I spent more than $6,000 on a car.
Yeah.
And so you got plenty of time, and you're not doing anything irresponsible here by going, I need a truck for work, and I'm trying to spend $12,000. Yeah. Now, that's going to be an older truck. It may not be fancy, but it'll, transport your materials just fine. And so the part of the emergency fund now is what happens when something happens to the truck, and what happens when you're on your own and you're renting or you're a homeowner and you've got to cover the big bills, like the HVAC goes out. And so that's why we want you to have a fully funded emergency fund. But man, you're doing great.
Sure.
$27K in the bank at 19 with no debt, wanting to continue a debt-free life. This kid's going to be okay.
I just
like
love
Mason.
that he called us. I love that these 19-year-olds are calling us, George.
Mason at 19. I don't know what I was doing at 19. I was a knucklehead.
At 19, I was couch surfing. I was sleeping on a friend's couch. We lived in the apartment, and there were no rooms left, so I got to sleep on the couch.
Woo! And look
like
at her now.
that.
No more couch life. Took control over money. That's what it's all about. We're pulling for you, Mason. More of your calls coming up. 888-825-5225 right here on The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
I'm George Campbell, joined by Jade Warshaw. This is The Ramsey Show. And on the debt-free stage, we've got some special guests with us. Jim and Debbie are here. How are you guys?
We're doing great. How are you?
Good.
We are so glad to have you. Where are you guys from?
Buckeye, Arizona.
That sounds wonderful.
I've been there.
Wow.
Really?
That's a fun fact.
Fun fact.
I never heard of it. Well, we're glad you made the trek to Nashville to celebrate your debt-free journey with us. How much did you pay off?
$708,719.60.
Woo! Oh, Lord!
I am bewildered is the only word for that. Okay, how long did that take?
32 months.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm extra bewildered.
I have so many questions.
A lot of stupid tax in there, George. Trust me.
What was your range of income during that time?
Averaged $180,000.
Okay.
There is so much to unpack here, Jim and Debbie.
Yes. Tell us how this happened. What got you on this journey? How did you get here today?
Well, we got started in 2020 with the pandemic. We took Financial Peace University at our church. We've got to give a shout out to our coordinators, James and Charlotte Green, and our pastors, Ron and Sue Rockwell at Harvest Church in Peoria, Arizona.
All right.
Took the class, and I'm not really sure, but it just clicked for us. We were sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we just knew we had to get out of the mess we created.
So you had almost $750,000 of debt. What kind of debt was this?
We had $150,000 in consumer debt between IRS, credit cards, a lot of stupid tax. We had a piece of property in there, just credit cards maxed out, and just a bunch of it.
Wow. We're just getting started with 150. What's the rest?
Well, then we're self-employed. We're fire protection contractors in Arizona with the backflow plumbing side, and we have a business. So that had an industrial condo that we had a mortgage on.
Okay.
And then we had our personal residence. So we've also paid off our house.
Wow. Woo! Weird people.
Goodness gracious, what a 180.
We're happy to be weird, I'll tell you.
What was the mortgage worth?
$300,000.
Wow,
And
guys.
what's your personal residence worth today?
Last we checked, Zillow was about $650.
Oh my goodness. So
my goodness.
Are you guys baby steps millionaires?
We're close. We're on the short side of the retirement side, so we got some catching up to do there. But now we got a lot of money and a big shovel. So
you're going to be there.
Once that stock market comes back, you guys will be right there.
Yes.
Oh, that's so exciting.
We're hooked up with a SmartVestor Pro in Arizona already. He's been guiding us the last year and a half, so we're on track.
That's incredible.
So how does it feel? I mean, you've paid everything off. You don't have a payment in the world. I mean, how long has it been, by the way, since you paid off that final debt?
July 11th
of 22.
Oh,
wow.
So you're just out here living.
Yes, ma'am.
You get that money and it's your money. How does that feel? Tell the people how it feels.
Wonderful. I just had to share with Jim here a while ago that when you have a mortgage payment, that's a clue to pay your electric bill, the light bill. Okay, honesty here. I have been late a couple months because no mortgage. You
forgot about the bills.
You know what? I'm here for that. I'm not mad at that.
Transparency, you
know.
I love that. She said the money does not matter so much that I am not even thinking about it. I forgot about it.
Turn the water off again.
I am not mad.
Jim, Debbie, I'm confused here. The numbers don't add up. Tell us how you paid off $708,000 in 32 months.
That's a good question.
Well, we just have a big shovel, fortunately, and we worked a lot of extra hours.
Did you sell stuff?
Well, we did. We sold the industrial condo that the business was leasing from, and with the proceeds from that, we paid off the home mortgage and the condo mortgage.
So, what were the net profits you used to throw at the debt from that industrial condo?
Well,
how much of the 708 was the sale?
$560.
Wow.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
And so another, 150 or so, that was all you guys hustling, grinding, sacrificing, using your income and putting it to good use.
We hit the ground running in March of 20, and we didn't stop till December of 20. And we worked ungodly amount of hours. We were just working all the time, and we didn't have a side hustle. Our side hustle was our extra business work that we could create through the inspection work that we do, and we just piled it on, just put the work in.
I saw on my screen there's bags of coins. Tell me
what's
what
up with the coin
tell
bags?
me what these bags of quarters are, please.
After the class, they talk about getting your $1,000 in your emergency fund. Well, we have a 5-gallon jug at home of change that we would just throw in there. Well, we got so excited we went home and emptied out the jug that night and didn't go to bed till like 2 a.m, just sitting out the piles all over the place.
Wow.
I love this. I am in love.
That is some next level sacrifice right there.
It really is. Dude, this is a lesson to all the people. Don't be afraid to count that change now. The coins count.
It all adds up.
The coins count.
Shocking how fast it adds up, for sure.
I bet.
So you guys were clearly running your business, kind of leveraging some debt and to run this thing. Are you now running the business debt free as well?
Yes, we are.
Wow. Does that change the decisions you make?
Oh, man. Yes, it does. Big time.
That's incredible.
It's funny when you have debt, you don't think about your dollar where it's going, but now since you're out of debt, it's like, okay, where's that going to? Why is it going there? And, you protect it a little bit better.
Yeah, when your business is in a much safer place. We saw with the pandemic, so many got wiped out because they were leveraged out their eyeballs.
Yeah.
And the ones that were running with cash went, all right, we got money in the bank. We don't owe people money. We're going to be safe.
We kind of stumbled on that in the pandemic because we thought it was going to shut us down as well. But with all the commercial properties not being open, they got a lot more of the work done, repair stuff done. So that became an opportunity for us.
Wow.
And we just capitalized on it big time.
That's so great. So tell me, what's the plan now? You've paid off all your debt. You worked like maniacs. You saved up the coins. What is the plan now? How are you guys celebrating this?
Well, we've done this. Today is our 35th wedding anniversary.
Oh, my goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I was going to say, what's the secret to getting out of debt? But what's the secret to 35 years of marriage?
Marry a strong, God-fearing woman.
Let's go.
And trust her, baby.
Let's go.
I've still got a long way to go there, but that's the secret.
Have you guys ever been debt-free in 35 years of being married?
We have not.
Wow.
Never.
This is new territory. This is a new frontier.
New frontier for sure.
So what do you do? You're here to celebrate, obviously. Is there anything else? I mean, you're here in Nashville. What else?
We've done a couple of trips. We went to Wisconsin and gave my dad a surprise 85th birthday party last year, and we've done some other travel to Colorado this past year and got some furniture for the house. I've got a barbecue island going in when we get home. So
y'all better live like no one else.
Just
I
have
like
fun,
it.
man, you know.
The barbecue island is the new American dream, I think, for men out there.
Should be for what it costs, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Goodness gracious.
Barbecue island.
Well, we are so proud of you guys. We're honored to have you. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
We're gonna give you an anniversary gift today. It's the Live and Give box that includes Dave's best-selling books, The Total Money Makeover, Baby Steps Millionaires. That's the next chapter for you, as well as a year of Financial Peace University. Maybe you go back through it again, take a friend with you, maybe you give it away and get someone else started on their journey.
Is there one other thing that I can share, please?
Please.
This was a scripture that came on early on in the journey for us, and it really ministered to me a lot, and especially in the hard times. It's Ecclesiastes 11:6. It says, "In the morning sow your seed, and at evening withhold not your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, this or that, whether both alike will be good."
Jim is preaching.
Yeah,
I
was
love
good.
that.
Yeah, very
I love
encouraging.
it.
So
That's
thank
so
you.
good.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what an incredible story. You guys have accomplished so much in 32 months, and it's a great reminder that it's never too late. Even after 35 years of marriage, the old dogs can learn new tricks, and I'm talking about Jim. Debbie's as young as ever. You guys ready?
George, yep.
All right. We've got Jim and Debbie from Arizona, $708,000 paid off in 32 months, making $180, selling the industrial condo off the business to help clear this debt. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt free.
And just like that, another one bites the dust. Almost
Just like
$750,000, and they just decided.
These folks don't have business debt. They don't have a mortgage, George.
It's just such a great reminder that in today's world, you can decide.
You can decide. They went 35 years of marriage and never were debt-free until this moment.
Wow. That's powerful.
Can you believe that?
You have the choice to America. You could be the next Jim and Debbie, regardless of your age, regardless of how much debt you have. You can do this stuff, but it has to start today with your I've had it moment. You go, I don't want to live like this any longer. My future is too important for me to stay in debt, giving my money to lenders every month. I want to build a legacy. I want to build a future, and that is how it's done. Amazing story.
They're heroes. Jim and Debbie, y'all are heroes. I'm proud of you guys.
This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. Well, about this year on The Ramsey Show, we get flooded with calls because everyone's looking for a fresh start with their money, especially after a tough couple of years. So if that's you, you can't wish for things to change and expect it to happen. You've got to do some things differently with your money, and you've got to have a plan. And we can teach you that plan in Financial Peace University. This is the course that will help you rethink how you manage your money, and you will learn step by step how to pay off debt and how to build wealth. And nearly 10 million people have taken FPU now. They followed this plan. They've changed their lives. It works. Don't try to reinvent this. And when you intentionally follow this plan with focus and intensity, this year will be different. You'll have more peace in your finances and in your life. So get started today. Go to RamseySolutions.com/FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/FPU. John is up next in Dayton, Ohio. John, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What's going on?
I wanted to call. I'm about $34,000 in debt, $14,000 through a personal loan, $11,000 on a credit card, and then I owe $9,000 to a family member. I kind of took the personal loan out in a panic, and just want to see what your guys' opinion is on it, on what I can do with that.
What was the panic about?
Just to pay off the money that I owed.
So you don't owe family anymore, or you do?
I do owe the family $9,000 still.
Okay.
So it only paid off some of what you owed the family?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
What's your income?
Together with my wife is our take home is about $75,000.
Great. Okay, so what's your question today?
Basically, the personal loan has a pretty high interest rate, and I took one out without really knowing much about it, so I'm trying to see basically what my options are with that.
What's the interest rate?
14%.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's painful.
And what about the credit cards? What's the interest rate there?
25.
So I'm taking it that you don't have any money saved up. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have done this loan. But do you have any money saved anywhere?
We have about $1,500 saved.
Okay, $1,500. You know, if this was my situation, John, I would just walk it down through the baby steps. And that's going to be your quickest, most efficient way out of debt. So we start with baby step 1, which is getting that $1,000 saved. You've already got $1,500. So let's keep $1,000 of it. And then we're going to roll the next $500 into our debt snowball. Now, I know you're concerned about these interest rates, but the way we do the debt snowball and the way the debt snowball works is you list the payments from smallest to largest. And the reason that we do that is so that you can get a win quicker, so that you can feel the excitement of that win. And so that will motivate you to keep going. And in this case, I think that's actually going to serve you well because that first debt on your list is family. And obviously you're trying to get that knocked out because you were willing to take out a loan at 14%. So let's keep it like that. Let's hit that family loan with everything that we've got. We're going to pay minimum payments on everything, but we're going to take any and all money that we can find. And as quickly as possible, this might be working more hours. This might be selling things. We have got to get this debt paid off. Is it possible that you and your wife could pick up some extra income here or there?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. You know, I think that with you guys' income, $34,000 of debt, you guys should be clear of this. I think you could probably do this if you really whittled this budget down. Are you guys on a budget?
We actually just started this week.
Okay,
nice.
Great. That's going to be the secret sauce, man, because once you get on the budget, you're going to start seeing all the ways that you can give yourself a raise. You're going to see all the ways that you've been maybe overspending a little bit, areas where you've gotten a little bit flabby that you can tighten up on. And the average person who starts working the baby steps, they're out within, 24 to 36 months. I definitely think for you guys, it's going to be closer to 18 to 24 months. You can do this.
I think you could do this in a year. If you get intense and you pick up some side work and you start shaving down those expenses because you're doing the budget, you're looking around, paying attention, going, yeah, we could cut that for now. And that bill's a little, let's reshop the insurance. Let's start shopping at a different grocery store. It's amazing how much money you'll just find when you start doing that budget. So was that kind of how you saw this, John? Was I can be debt free within a year or so?
Yeah, that's what we were trying to aim for, was at least about a year.
Oh, good.
And the way you'll get there is using that debt snowball, which means that high interest loan is just hanging out. It's the last one you're going to tackle, isn't it? That personal loan.
Yes.
And that hurts.
Let that fuel your fire, though. Let that 14% fuel you.
You attack the high interest one first, and what happens is you kind of get comfortable and you go slower. But when that's just hanging out there, 25% interest on the credit card, 14% on the personal loan, number one, you're never going to touch debt again because you felt the sting of that as the interest racked up and you realize these lenders are not my friend. They weren't doing me a favor by letting me go $14,000 into debt in a panic. without even explaining to me how this all worked.
I'll tell you what else. Once you start changing grocery stores and you have to cut that budget, you guys are working more. You talk about feeling the sting, George. That'll make you feel it. When you thought your workday was done for the day, but then it's time to clock into the next job.
Oh.
That'll get you.
Never again. You're
Never
like, I'm
again.
doing this for a year or no longer, and whatever it takes, we're getting rid of this debt.
Never again.
John, I'm going to gift you 1 year of Every Dollar Premium, which will help you get control of that money. It'll connect to your bank account, bring all the transactions in. We've got a paycheck planning tool as part of that. So hang on the line. Austin will pick up, and we'll gift you 1 year of Every Dollar Premium. Awesome. All right, let's move on to Troy in Topeka, Kansas. Troy, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hello.
What's going on?
I am currently, me and my wife are trying to figure out, we're trying to get back on track with our money. I went through financial peace like 5 years ago with her, and now we're trying to get back on track. I took a loan out myself, and it's about $1,400. And it feels like I've been paying on it the last 6 months, and I'm just ready to get rid of it. I have other debt on top of that, so I'm wondering, should I start with this loan so I can get it out of the way? Because this loan is taking money out of my account. If I don't make that payment, it will pull that payment out of there.
The minimum payment?
Yeah, the minimum payment.
So what's the minimum payment on that?
It's about $190.
And what other debt do you have?
Every 2 weeks. And then I have my car payment, which is, I pay that every 2 weeks as well.
How much is that?
What's the loan total?
The car loan is $16,000.
Okay, what else do you have?
And then I just have other small debt. I have $600 in credit card debt.
Uh-huh.
And then just some hospital debt.
What's that?
Which I'm still trying to figure all that one out. I don't know 100% right now.
All right. So this is very similar to the previous call. Yes, when you're working the debt snowball, we want to list these debts from smallest to largest. And when we do that, we're still making minimum payments on all the debt, right? Because we don't, trust me, you do not want debt collectors calling you. That is the most annoying thing. It takes a toll on your self-confidence. You want to keep those guys out of your hair. So do make minimum payments. Are you able to make minimum payments while still throwing money at the debt snowball? What's your income?
I make approximately $38,000 a year. My wife just quit her job because really her paycheck was just going to daycare.
Okay.
So she's staying at home now?
She's going to be a stay-at-home mom for now. She's going to try to find. She does baking. She bakes, so she's going to try to sell some products while baking.
Okay.
Just to make some extra cash.
Yeah. And what are you doing to bring in some extra money? Because right now, you guys got to pull up that income so we can make this snowball work.
Does she have a car too?
She does not. She drives my car. I have a company vehicle, so I drive that most of the time. She drives the other vehicle.
What's your car worth?
What's it worth? I don't know what it's worth.
Okay. My feeling is we might need to sell this car.
Yeah. If it's worth 16, my guess is.
Now you're going to need some money to buy something used, but if you can get, let's say, if you can sell the car for 20, you owe 16, that leaves you with $4,000 to go get a clunker, which you're not driving around much, right?
Right.
It's mostly the company vehicle. So that can help speed this whole process up. And so we start attacking the smallest debt first, probably that credit card. Then we're going after that personal loan, the medical debt. And man, you could be debt free soon, even making $38K. But I'd try to pick up some extra side jobs, bring in some extra income to speed this whole thing up. And that might look like selling the car.
And if you have any savings laying around that's over $1,000K, drain that down to $1,000 and put that money towards your debt snowball. You guys can do this.
Appreciate the call, Troy. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to my co-host, Jade Warshaw, all the folks in the booth, and you, America. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back real soon on The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started. Live from the the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage is taking the places of the BMW as America's status symbol of choice. This is where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money, your life. I am your host, Jade Warshaw, joined by the illustrious George Camel.
Thank you. So kind.
Oh, George, we got a great show for you guys today. Hey, by the way, if you like this show, if you've been listening to The Ramsey Show, please, please, please consider liking and subscribing to the show. Man, go on, leave a review. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're going on a podcast provider, please leave a review and consider sharing that with a friend. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And we would love if you did that. And by the way, if you are a new listener, we're happy to have you. And we actually want to dive deeper. And if you want to dive deeper into the Ramsey baby steps, we want you to go to RamseySolutions.com and you can click on the Get Started button. And from there, we'll help you figure out the best next step on your financial journey based on exactly where you're at today. So head on over there, go to RamseySolutions.com and click that Get Started button. All right, George, let's get to the phone lines.
Let's do it.
It looks like we've got Emmy from Kansas City. What you got going on, Emmy?
Hi, guys. So I was just calling to see if I could get some advice on what to do considering my current living situation. I've been listening to Dave's advice and everything. I'm 27 years old, and a part of me is like, why am I living with my parents right now? I feel like I'm being irresponsible, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I have been, but I just got out of a bad relationship a couple months ago, and unfortunately, that's kind of a reoccurring thing where I've been basically living with people and getting in relationships that are unhealthy because I can't get control of my financial situation, and I'm just now realizing that. And so I don't know if I should continue to live with my parents or if I should move out, being 27 and everything. Now I don't have anything saved up. But with that being said, the living situation, money's really tight with my parents, and we all are living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment with my 2 brothers who are living and sleeping on the living room floor. My dad works from home, and then I also work from home, selling health insurance over the phones. Yeah. And we've got 3 dogs.
Oh, so, Lord. Okay.
Wow.
I feel like
Can
really
anyone afford to move out? Why is everyone stuck at home with the parents?
That's my question.
Well, my 2 brothers are unable to live on their own, so they've continued to live with my parents, and so they're just doing the best they can. And my mom's health is declining quickly, and she can't get a job, and my dad's just doing the best he can.
So are they relying on you to help pay the bills?
No, but it has came up in conversation. Are you able to help? And I mean, I know that they have taken me in and helped me so much, and so it's kind of that fine balance. And this is my first time. I started watching your guys' show maybe a month ago, and it's the first time that all of this financial advice is just new to me. I didn't really have that growing up.
Are you working full time from home?
Yes.
And what are you earning?
So I started the job in January and have only been on the phones during the busiest time of year that just ended in December. And however, when I got the job, they said that the average first-year agent income was anywhere from $65,000 to $72,000. With that being said, I don't know how much I trust this agency.
What have you been making per month? Let's see if you're on track for that.
Well, taking into consideration that I sell health insurance and AEP is some agents, they make their entire annual income during those 3 months. So this is the most that I've ever made.
What is it?
Or probably that I will, but
What'd you
I would
make?
say maybe 10,000. Why didn't I have that number? I have all my other numbers prepared for this phone call, but I didn't have that number.
So you made 10,000 in month one, in 1 month, or was that a?
I would say that my average paycheck was like $2,500, and then I made a couple of like $5,000 roughly.
Okay, and the $2,500. Are you getting that twice per month, or is that one time per month you got $2,500? Like, are you on a biweekly pay, or is it once a month pay?
Biweekly.
Okay, so if one paycheck was $2,500, then let's say the next one, so about $5,000 a month. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
How much debt do you have?
Well, watching you guys has really humbled me. Total debt, including student loans, would be $54,000. Okay. Student loans, that breaks down to $32,900 for student loans. I've got a car that I'm willing to sell.
How much?
I have $18,500 still on that car. I bought that car specifically because I can fit a mattress in the back. If that kind of tells you where I've my mind's been.
This is tough. Emmy. Keep going down that list of debt. I want to make sure we can help you before we run out of time.
So student loans, car loan, anything else?
Cell phone, I have $440 on that, and then like credit cards, I've been using them, but I pay them off every time. But that doesn't matter because I'm going to cut them up eventually.
Cut them up today, Emmy. Cut them up today. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. This is me getting on you as big sister. This is Mama Jade. You cannot afford to use these credit cards. Cut them up. Yeah. No excuses. Cut them up tonight. You don't need them. You got a place to live. You got a place to sleep. That's what you were worried about. Cut up your credit cards. They are not helping you in this situation. All right.
Okay.
So Emmy, we want to get
credit
you
cards, and I will do that. I've lost one of them, so I don't know where that one is, but I'll cut up the rest.
Yes, cut up the rest.
We want to get you out of the apartment as soon as you're able financially. So I would start looking and going, what do I need to make? Do I need to go get a roommate? Can I go find a responsible female? Maybe it's a friend or a friend of a friend, and vet them so that you can cut the amount of rent you're paying down so that we still have margin to tackle this debt. But I want you to break out of this cycle. I feel like you've stopped believing in Emmy, and you've resigned yourself to, well, I'm just a person who gets in bad relationships, and I'm just a person who's bad with money, and I have so much faith in you that you will crawl out of this and you'll be on the other side within a few years in a totally different place financially.
I agree with George. Look, we are going to gift you with a copy of Financial Peace University. And Emmy, I want you going through every single class. It's 9 lessons. You can work it on your own time. This is going to teach you everything you need to know. In the meantime, you're getting out of your parents' house. All right? You can do this. Get your money saved, get through Financial Peace University, and before you know it, you're going to get that debt paid off. We're rooting for you. We believe in you. We know that you can do this. This is The Ramsey Show. All right, welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm your host, Jade Warshaw, joined today by George Camel. We're taking your calls about life and money. But before we do, y'all know tax season is coming up. Everybody's favorite time of year, George.
I just got a little acid reflux when you said that. I need some Tums.
Favorite time of year is an overstatement by far, but we want to make sure that you guys are ready. And we have five points that we're going to give you to help you guys prepare for it. But because tax does give us indigestion, for some people, it is just the most boring thing ever. But we're going to make it fun. Is that right, George?
That's right. We've got some tax trivia that our team has come up with, and we thought it would be fun to quiz you all out there to see if you know individual state tax law, which I'm sure you've been studying up on for a while now. So here's the deal. These are true or false questions. We're going to throw it out there. If you're watching on YouTube, we've got some fun graphics to go along with it. Here's the first question.
Hit me.
True or false? In Kansas, riding a balloon that is tethered to the ground is subject to the amusement tax. True or false?
Ooh, I feel like we need to play the Jeopardy music.
That one's weird enough that it feels true. I'm going to go true on this one.
Yeah, I would say true because Kansas folk, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Oh, she was about to throw shade at Kansas folk.
I used to live in Kansas, George. I'm a former Kansan.
It is true. And here's the law behind it. If it's not tethered, it's considered transportation, and that is tax-free.
Yes, I take my hot air balloon to work. All right.
There we go.
Take your hot air balloon to work day. All right, let's see this next one, George. In New Mexico, if you live to be 100, you become tax exempt. Is this true or false?
Ooh, that one also feels strange enough to be true.
I would pray that if I'm at 100, I ain't paying taxes anymore.
I feel like New Mexico rocks that way. Is it true?
Let's see.
Boom. If you're not a dependent and you're a resident by December 31st, then you are tax-free.
I love how it's written. You're tax-free.
I love that. Also,
love that.
I mean, if you make it to 100, throw them a bone,
Look, if you make it to 100, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. I'm just saying, you're out.
All right. Arkansas taxes its residents for getting tattoos or body piercings. True or false? Now, if you're an Arkansan and you've got a tattoo, because you've probably paid this tax.
Yeah.
It's true.
Wow. It's a 6% tax.
6% tax. Apparently, it pays.
Oh, my goodness.
It pays to keep that body God gave you in its most natural state. Au naturel.
Well, I love this next one. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of tax evasion. Okay. Did or did not Nicolas Cage go to court for tax evasion?
Yeah, he's got the face for it. I think he's evaded some taxes in his day.
He's a crazy dude. I got to believe that he's done some crazy things. Yeah.
Wow.
Are we right? Yeah.
It's true. Now, hopefully he didn't do it. Maybe he got out of it. I don't know.
My guy needs some help. All right, who is this? Leo Messi, who is an Argentinian professional football player.
Oh, there he is. Did he go to court for tax evasion? I'm going to say yes. I feel like professional athletes, they're not paying attention to who's handling the money.
They get a bad rap.
Is it true? It is.
True. Yeah.
Wow.
I bet you are crying. All right, this next one. Man, I already know that. Come on. Dolly Parton.
Did she go to court for tax evasion?
Never that, Dolly. You would never.
She's a good woman.
Let's see. Pull it out. Oh.
False. She did not.
And she maintains her reputation as America's sweetheart, really.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't care if you love country music or not. Everybody loves Dolly. All right, George. We got to get back to the phone. Oh, we don't need to get back to the phone
lines. We had some fun, but I think we need to give the listeners some real information.
Let's do the real deal.
People have been asking, hey, what's going on with taxes this year? What's changed? What do I actually need to know? Can you just give me the facts?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. We've got 5 things here. Quick details. Number 1, guys, you can start to file your taxes early. You do not need to wait until April. You can start by the end of January. So get it done early. The filing deadline is April 18th, but you do not need to wait until April 18th, okay? You don't want to be scrambling and scratching. Now, if you do need to file an extension, the deadline to do that would make your filing deadline October 16th. So make sure to get that in. George, what we got here?
We got the standard deduction. So that increased. It's $12,950 for single filers and $25,900 for married couples filing jointly.
Let's go.
And that's a good thing because that deduces your taxable income, which means you're paying less in taxes.
That's right.
And partially, thanks to inflation, which income tax brackets also went up in 2022 to account for inflation.
They did. And guys, we want to warn you about scams. Watch out for this because you'll get people coming out of the woodwork talking about tax relief, debt consolidation scams. And I want you guys to know you might come home to emails or
phone calls,
voicemails,
text messages are the new thing.
Of people saying that they're the IRS. They are not the IRS. The IRS will only communicate to you through the snail mail.
That's right.
Not even email. It's only if you get a letter in the mail from the IRS. So if you've got voicemails, if you got anything else like that, it's a scam.
And always check the IRS website for the phone number. If you do get something in the mail, it's a good way to double check.
That's right.
Don't just call back any old number and start handing out your social security number.
Yeah, you can Google those numbers and it will tell you if it's a scam or not.
Yes,
so I love
that's a great reminder from one of our listeners there. Another one, the IRS was warning people to wait for these 1099-Ks, but that's on pause. So false alarm. And if you're wondering what the heck the 1099-K is, well, there was a tax code change that would have mandated declaration on any exchanges over these payment apps like PayPal, Venmo, other cash apps. If it was over $600 in exchanges, they wanted their cut. But they're waiting. They're going to kick that can down the road for another year. So you don't have to worry about that.
Which technically they're entitled to the taxes, but I'm just saying. Anyway, smaller refunds. The IRS warned people to expect smaller tax refunds this year, guys, in 2023. Think about it. We were all used to that 2020 money, you know what I'm saying? But there were no economic impacts, thank goodness, in 2022. So taxpayers will not get an extra stimulus payment in their 2023 tax refund checks. So I know that y'all were used to getting that money, but it's not going to feel like that.
They had all the expanded tax credits and deductions, like the child tax credit, charitable contribution deduction, but now it's all reverting to the pre-COVID amount. So that's a bummer.
That's a good thing. These tax dollars. All right, number 5, stay away from advanced loans. I cannot say it loud enough. Do not take out a loan for your tax refund.
These ads are everywhere, and I'm going to call them out by name. H&R Block, we see you.
We see you, bro.
TurboTax, we see you.
We
Jackson
see you.
Hewitt, we see you.
We see you.
Trying to peddle loans to people for these, we'll get your refund now. We'll give you a loan for it.
And I'm mad about it. You've already loaned your money tax-free and interest-free to the government. All right, interest-free. You've been giving them your money every paycheck, and now they want to turn around and offer you a loan for your own money.
Don't
do it.
Don't take the bait.
Just wait and get your refund. All right, that's all we need to do. So I want you guys to know that we've got you covered as far as all of the resources that you're going to need for this tax season. Head over to RamseySolutions.com/taxes. You're going to find everything that you need for this 2023 tax season. All right.
I love it.
Man, oh man, George. Let's see. Do we have time to take this call? Let's take a look at it. We got...
We can hold... Yeah, we'll hold. Let's see. Bill, what do we got going on in Wichita, Kansas,
All right,
Bill?
let's see.
Let's get straight to the question.
Yeah.
All right, I'm wanting to buy some land and move out of town, and I can give you my financial stance real fast if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah, we got time.
So the land selling's for $125. I can get 75% of it borrowed for a loan, for a 20-year loan. I owe $125 on my house. I make $18. My wife makes $15.50. And it
Is that an hour?
$20,000 to. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you make $18 an hour. She makes $15.50 an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
And the land is 10 acres and has a shop on it that we live in until saved to build a house later on, 5-10 years.
Do you have any debt?
Nope, debt-free.
Debt-free.
How much money do you have in the bank?
We got about $9,000.
And was that going to be your down payment, or is that your emergency fund, or what?
So the down payment is the equity I have in my house. I only owe $125, and I can sell it for about $180 to $190.
Okay.
So you'd have about $50 in equity, 45 or so.
Yeah, I would use about $20 to build it to make it livable.
Okay. Well, what is this 20-year loan? That doesn't sound like a conventional.
Mm-mm.
What kind of loan is that?
It's a land loan. Since it's not residential, I can't get a regular mortgage on it.
What's the interest rate on that?
It has all the stuff on the land. It's about 6 to 7%. That varies every day. But it already has septic there, has gas, has water, internet, has everything there. The house that was there had burned down.
Man, I might pause on this and stack up more cash so that puts you in a better financial position in order to pay off this new mortgage. So I'd walk slowly with this and try to get the income up so that you can cover all of the new expenses with this land project.
That's right. I agree with what George is saying. We don't want to get into too much and bite off more than what you can chew. This is The Ramsey Show. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. This is Jade, and I've got George here. And guys, in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, we got Daniel and Cody. Guys, it's nice to have you. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
We're doing well. How are you?
We're doing great. Where are you guys from?
Sumter, South Carolina.
Sumter, South Carolina. So you're in here. You got to do your debt-free scream. How much did you guys pay off?
$218,101.
Ooh.
Yep.
What kind of debt was it?
Our house.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All to the house.
What?
Yep.
I love it. Wow. How long did that take you guys?
13 months.
Wow.
There's a story here for sure.
Yes, there is, because that's godlike. Amazing. So tell us a story. What was the range of income during that time? How did you guys make this happen in 13 months?
So he's military, and we moved to South Carolina in the midst of COVID and bought a house. He was working, I was not, so I got my real estate license, and we went from $60,000 to $330,000.
Hey! Oh!
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, was that from real estate?
Yeah.
So you just got your license and then you just crushed it year one.
Killed it.
You killed the game.
I mean, what did you make your first year of real estate?
Well, I started in July, so I made $40,000 my first half of the year, and then the next year $292,000.
Oh my goodness.
My dog.
That is incredible.
Unbelievable. And have you been able to keep that going? Like, have you just...
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
He tells me every day if I don't sell a house, I can't come home. So
wow.
That's the
and
motivation.
apparently you're doing it.
She's home every night.
So,
oh, my goodness.
Cody was like the secret hot sauce. She was
Seriously.
the secret sauce.
And Cody, thank you for your service and sacrifice, man. You guys are an incredible couple.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is exciting stuff. So, like, how did you find out about FPU? How did you get started on this whole journey? Like, what made you want to pay off the house?
I would say it all started during college. Cody's mom is really big into Dave Ramsey. Mm-hmm. So we first learned through her that we needed to get through college debt-free, which we both did. And then we both saw how much our house costs and then how much we're going to pay in interest and said absolutely not.
Wow.
So it started at that moment.
You pre-decided, Daniel, to go like, we're not going to have this debt sitting around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seeing how much money we were going to pay that didn't go to anything.
Wow.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you went through college without student loans. So you guys are just smart people. You guys are smarter than the average bear.
How old are you two?
I'm 27. He's 26.
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. I cannot wait. Please tell me you'll come back when your baby steps millionaires.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because it ain't going to be long.
I'm nervous. It's going to be like, they're going to come back tomorrow and be like, we did it.
Yeah, the goal hopefully is by 30 to come back as millionaires.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah,
incredible.
Wow. So tell me, when you guys were on this journey, Cody, you start doing real estate. You guys are getting busy. Were there any naysayers? Were folks telling you don't need to pay off your mortgage? Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, I would say there's tons of people that think like that, or, oh, you have such a low interest rate, why would you pay your house off?
What would you say to that?
I'd say you're not very intelligent with your money then.
Yes.
Okay.
Get
Come
Daniel
on,
behind
Daniel.
the desk to tell him.
I know, right? I need to give you my spot.
We knew that he wasn't going to stay in the military, and he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do either. So we were like, how can we not have a bill and then you decide and not have to worry about anything once you get out? So we actually created our own amortization chart and said, okay, a month before you get out, we're going to have our house paid off. And it was like $6,000 extra a month to the principal that we had to pay.
Wow.
And then we just started, we were like, we kind of have money floating around. We can pay this off quicker. So then we just started
so you
throwing
guys
it to the
realized,
house.
hey, we could have like options if we didn't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
And the secret sauce is you just paid extra on the principal of the mortgage.
Yeah.
People are always trying to come up with a hack, and if you do one extra payment, and you guys just said no, let's just slap an extra $6,000 a month on this thing.
Yeah.
Instead of having lifestyle creep set in, because you guys could have spent some money.
Oh yeah, you
could
guys
have
could have got lackadaisical.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what ultimately we learned from this is that discipline is going to get us to wherever we want to go. So if we're able to say no to the short gains, then ultimately we're going to have a lot at the end.
Man, so how does that feel? I mean, you made that final mortgage payment. What month did you make the final payment?
April of 22.
Ooh, so how, tell the people, because I think people need to know that this is a real feeling, like something truly happens inside of you. What did it feel like that first month that you didn't have a mortgage payment and all the income that you were bringing in was just yours?
I would say honestly felt weird because we didn't have a mortgage payment. So we had extra money left over. That was great. I would say it's truly freeing knowing that I don't owe anybody anything extra.
Don't owe anybody anything.
Now, most people go, well, you guys aren't enjoying life at all. Would you say that is untrue? Have you been living and enjoying the money too?
We just came back from an 8-day cruise over Christmas.
Come on.
So.
I love it.
But we're here like shaking. This is exciting. So
Yeah.
if we're not living, then I don't really know what these feelings are.
Okay. She said, if this ain't living, I don't know what
Well,
is.
most people are like, well, YOLO, FOMO, I got to live my life. I can't just sit there trying to pay off all this debt. Like, I'll pay it off when it gets paid off 30 years from now.
Or you can live that way after you pay off all your debt.
Okay.
Boom.
And you can be baby steps millionaires when you're 30. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I'm excited. Well, we know the mother-in-law was a big cheerleader who got you guys started on this. Who are some of your other who are the people that, I mean, when times got hard, you were like, I got to call so-and-so because I need to stay focused. How did you guys stay focused?
We have an awesome church community, just our a group of friends, and then we actually had some people, Chris and Maria, shout out to them. They were great encouragers as well. And I would say for me, the biggest encourager was Daniel. There were times where I would come home and be like, I feel like I'm working so hard, and then it's just going to debt, and he would just keep encouraging me and tell me, like, this is not going to be a long process, and we're kind of being silly thinking that it's going to be a long process that's going quick. So
yeah,
he was awesome.
I love it. You guys
it was
depended
easy
on each
from my
other.
perspective, just watching her bring in all this money. So I just tell her to keep going.
It's a good deal, man. So what are you guys doing now? What's the next goal?
Yeah.
We want to own $1 million before we're 30. So we're saving up right now to purchase rental properties, and
that's amazing.
You're gonna crush it with that, especially doing it with cash.
Yeah.
What's the house worth?
Our house, like $270,000, $275,000.
I love it. Incredible. Well, guys, we've got a Live and Give box for you. That's the next step in your journey. Inside of it, there's a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires. That's for you. And then there's a copy of the Total Money Makeover. That's free to give away. Plus 1 year of FPU. You can pass this forward, give it to somebody else. This information has obviously changed your life, and I'm sure you can't wait to share that with somebody else so they can change their life. Yeah. But now it's the time that we've all been waiting for. Guys, all right. We've got on the stage right now Daniel and Cody. They have paid off $218,000 in 13 months, making $330,000 income. Guys, let's hear it. A debt-free scream. Count it down.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
That's how you do it right there.
Wow. I'm just like, I don't want to get in their way.
I'm not getting in their way. I'm certainly not getting in Cody's way because she's on that real estate train. She'll plow me right down.
Goodness gracious.
That's the way you do it, George.
It is.
But for all the naysayers out there.
With having the right inputs, having the right material, the right education, the right people in your life.
Yeah. And you know what I like is the mother-in-law, the mom came in and said, hey, you guys need to do this, and you need to get on this plan. This is going to change your life. And they did it. They took the advice. You know, I think about that scripture that says, fools despise wisdom, and fools despise discipline. Fools despise understanding. But these people, these ain't no fools. These people heard it. They went, they followed what the mother-in-law said, and they got on a plan. It changed their life, George.
Well, when you can just swallow your pride and go, hey, my financial plan, it ain't working. I'm going to try this one over here. And what if I could just live a debt-free life? What if I could have a paid-for house by the time I'm 26? It's that kind of vision that creates the right habits that actually creates the right results.
Exactly.
But most people, they're not willing to do what Cody and Daniel did.
No, they're not willing to do it.
They'd rather sit in their own filth and go, well, I'm just going to sit here and just keep meandering through life, YOLO, FOMO, and they decided, no, we can really live big time if we're willing to live like no one else right now.
Yep. Got to live like no one else now, so later you can live and give like no one else, and no one's going to do it for you. Mama can't do it for you. Daddy can't do it for you. It's you changing your mind and you deciding that I can't live like this anymore. I want a better future. I want a better life. I can have a better life. All you got to do is look at Daniel and Cody. They changed their life. Whew. I love doing it, George. This is why we do it. This is The Ramsey Show. All right, we're back. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. I'm Jade. This is George. We got our scripture and quote of the day. It says this, "But you are chosen people, a royal priesthood, a royal nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." That's 1 Peter 2:9. And then Prince said this, my favorite, my guy Prince, "Despite everything, no one can dictate who you are to other people." I know that's right, Prince. He came along with it. So, George, it's a new year.
It is.
And thank you, Lord. And that means you can't be giving up on the goals, George, that you set out to accomplish this year, and neither can you guys. And if your main goal was to build those money muscles, but you've only been to the money gym once.
Personal attack, Jay.
Whew, I'm not trying to, George.
I've been twice to the actual gym.
But for those listeners out there, if you've only been to that money gym once, just like everything else, man, it's time to start making progress and stop making excuses, please. I know that it can be hard when you don't have a plan, or if you're just starting out, or if you're like my husband and I and you're trying to climb and claw and scratch your way out of $460,000 of debt. It's tough. But let me tell you something. If you want a practical, proven plan to climb out from whatever debt you might be facing, whatever bills, if you want to start building wealth, you need to grab yourself a copy of The Total Money Makeover. Guys, I cannot tell you enough. This book has literally changed our lives. It's literally the reason that I'm sitting here today next to the illustrious George Camel.
Wow.
This is Dave's best-selling book for a reason. Guys, you will learn the 7 baby steps to guide you through your money journey with real-life stories from people. They don't have to struggle from money anymore, guys. These are real-life stories because they followed these proven principles as well. And let's be real. With you paying off debt, with you building wealth, I can tell you this. It's for you. It's not just for those people out there. It's not just for the people that you see on TV. It's not just for your neighbors, the Joneses. Building wealth, paying off debt, it is for you too. So get back on that money treadmill today and order yourself a copy of The Total Money Makeover. You can find it at RamseySolutions.com/store. And I tell you right now, you got this. You can do it, America. George, let's get to the phone lines. You can give us a call today at 888-825-5225. And we've got Phil. Phil's on the line here from Grand Rapids, Michigan. How can we help you today, Phil?
Hey there, Jay, George. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
No problem. How can we help?
Well, my wife and I, we're both 33 years old, and for the past 8 years now, we've had the goal of starting a family, but we've been faced with the challenges of, frankly, overcoming some unexplained infertility.
Sorry to hear
We're
that.
currently halfway through baby step 3A.
Okay,
So
excellent.
we feel the urgency to start a family due to our age, of course, although at the same time we don't want to lose our gazelle intensity and get distracted.
Sure.
So doing some research, we'd really like to be able to cash flow embryo adoption.
Okay.
Where would you put this in the baby steps, and what percentage of income would you dedicate towards it?
Well, there's a couple of ways we can look at this. What's your income right now?
We have a combined gross income of $100K.
Awesome.
Gross. That's good.
And where are you at in the emergency fund? How many months would you say you have right now?
We're over halfway. We probably have about another 4 months until it's fully funded.
Would you
So
say you have about
we
3
probably
months of
have-
expenses?
Yeah, we have about 3 months saved up so far.
Okay. As you've priced this out, what are what's your research telling you that this is going to cost you price-wise?
Yeah, for all the research, approximately about $15,000.
15,000. That's not. I've heard some.
So how
higher numbers.
quickly,
That's not
let's
bad.
say you guys stop right now, you've got 3 months of expenses saved. If you just did nothing but save up for this embryo adoption, how quickly could you save up $15,000, making $100K?
We'd probably be able to do that. Feet to the fire, probably 6-8 months.
And is that money owed up front?
It's due along the way. So it's not all up front.
Oh, well, that's
but
great.
They come in very large chunks, though. Normally $2,000 to $3,000 at a time.
So I'm wondering if you guys you had $5,000, could you start the process? And then you get the next 5 a few months later, and the next 5 a few months later, so that you can get started on this.
Yeah.
Have you guys been investing at all?
We have not. Ever since starting our debt-free journey, we have done zero investing.
Okay, so you pause that. Great.
Yeah, I think George has a good plan. If 15K is a lot of money, but at the same time, I've heard it priced out higher, so I was happy to hear it on what I've heard as the lower end of the spectrum. So that's good. If you had 6 months of savings set aside, I might say you could pull a little from there. But because you only have 3 months, I really don't want to dwindle your savings anymore, because typically, in the case of somebody having a baby, we would say pause all the baby steps and pile up as much money as you can, to get ready for this big life change. It's a medical procedure, so there's a lot of things that are associated with it, and we want you to be ready for that. So that's the only reason, and a good reason why I would say, hey, in this case, I wouldn't dip into 3A, your baby step, or your savings account. However, I think that what George was saying is great. You guys should be able to cash flow this. And I love that it's not this big lump sum that's due at once, but you can kind of, as you get to those different milestones, pay what the next fee is. How does that sit with you, Phil?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Because that was our big thing of just being able to get into a place of our own. And our ultimate goal is having my wife stay at home. And, so having something we can cash flow is definitely.
And even temporarily, if you want to pick up side hustles, you want to sell some stuff, you want to ratchet down that budget as much as you can, that could help get this first $5,000, let's say, in the next 2 months to get the process started, and create that timeline of, hey, when are the bills going to be due? When are we going to have this money? And if an emergency does pop up, we pause and go, all right, we've got to make sure this is covered. You have 3 months worth, which should cover you through this process. But I think it's a worthwhile goal to do whatever you can to stack up this money and get the process started.
Absolutely. With George, when it comes to family planning for children, fertility, we always recommend don't forego having a family to get out of debt. Don't forego having a family. I mean, that's a really important thing, but there's a way that you can go through that process and do it the right way.
Yeah, and once you've got the treatment paid for, then we can save up more. We can begin investing for the future. And you guys are 33. You've got a long life ahead of you, and we're wishing you the best on that fertility journey. That can be so, so tough.
Yeah. Thanks for the call. All right, we've got Alicia in Sacramento, California. What's going on, Alicia?
Hi there. Good afternoon. I was wondering if it would be a good idea to refi on my house. I've had some unexpected things come up, like pipe burst or broke, and the repairs are really expensive. It's like about $11,000. But it means like I have no sink and no dishwasher, no laundry, and I have a baby on the way in about like 5 months, and it's just me. And then also my car broke down, and then I had some debt. So I was looking to see if it was good to refi to pay off the debt and to get the repairs done and to like have some emergency funds in time.
Yeah, so you're thinking you want to roll the cost of that into a new mortgage?
Are you doing a cash out refi? Is that what you do, is take out equity?
Yes, cash out refi.
Yeah, we would never suggest to do something like that, Alicia. We want you to pay off your debt using the debt snowball. We would never want you to leverage or put that kind of strain on your mortgage, since that's your living situation. And like you said, you've got a baby on the way.
What's your income?
Oh, my income is like, at the lowest, I make $3,200 a month. At the highest, $4,400 a month. So it's like I'm struggling if I'm at the minimum. I'm trying to work as much overtime as I can. But like, I just don't think I would make it in time before she gets here.
How many more months until she gets here?
About 5 months.
5 months, yeah.
So in 5 months, we need to save up and we need to cover this repair ASAP. Is the home worth selling right now because of your situation and downsizing?
I thought about selling the house. It's just that I don't see any other places to go into.
Well, it may be wise to rent for a while and get back on your feet financially, and we'll become a homeowner later down the road. But right now, we've got a storm. We got a baby on the way as a single mom. There's a lot to be thinking about.
That's right. We're going to get you hooked up with Financial Peace University, and as part of that, you're going to have access to some financial coaching, and that's going to help you on your journey on the way to becoming motherhood and to get you set up with your money. Guys, thanks for listening today. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, George Camel here. If you love the show and you want a deeper dive on your money journey, we've got a weekly newsletter that gives you helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for the newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.